Department of Truth, issue number 21. Kind of amazing we made it this far, isn't it? I know Tynion was like, this is my Vertigo book, it's going to go forever. I like that about books like this. I wish more books would just go on forever until they want to stop. But if this is Tynion being like, I'm doing it for the rest of my life, sure. I could get behind this forever, honestly. I like this book more than most, I think, just because there's just the sense of being like the first one of the book. I was there day one, and I love the art, and I love the style and the story it's telling. I don't know how many other reviewers have been following this book since the beginning, but it's nice to see the whole picture kind of becoming clear now. It feels like we were stagnated for a little bit, and we did a lot of the divergence and deviations, but we're back on track to tell our actual story. So I like that. It's also nice to have a James Tynion book that has a good story to it, because Nice House on the Lake has kind of lost its touch. So I like this one a lot. This book, we open up with Ruby telling us about the secret base inside Fort Knox. So Hawk had this idea because of pop culture's idea of everything in Fort Knox is a fortress. That's where the U.S. is storing its gold. It actually holds its gold in the Bullion Depository, which is next to Fort Knox. But because everyone's believing the gold is inside Fort Knox, it's probably in there, right? But Hawk's like, you gotta get me inside there, and I will show you that there is some weird shit going on in Fort Knox. So it takes him a long time to actually find a way to get into the fort. He finds a secret door that's not on any of the blueprints. He gets in there, and what he finds is an area so off-kilter, it's not on any of the maps. So what happens then? The Department of Truth uses it to store a bunch of shit. That's awesome. That alone is a brilliant concept, because Fort Knox does have that kind of pop culture American history behind it, where there is something there that people gravitate to, that people want to talk about, that people want to experience. I think it's cool to use it in that kind of way. It makes sense to me. I like that. And that just happens to be where Cole and Ruby are headed. You get an offhanded joke I don't want to go to Area 51, do I? And Ruby's like, well, you know what's in there. You know what's in Area 51. It's not scary. You get it. They head to Fort Knox. They find some bars of gold. They have a nice little moment where Cole's like, I just have the temptation to take the gold. It's kind of an interesting concept to build. And then we get a flashback, which I do like to see. It's 1992. We open up again with the scarletly crimson eyes of the Mothman. And you see that Hawk is talking with Gregory and some other people associated with Black Hat. The Ministry of Lies. And the idea is Hawk is telling them how the story is about to unfold. And it's really cool. I think this is it's a really cool concept. Again, I think it makes sense for everything this story has been setting up. That Hawk would be this guy. Again, he's kind of just about not even the truth, but he's just I want to see how the angles play out. So his thing is okay, so the Cold War is coming to an end. The Soviet Union, it's going to be torn into something completely different now. And we, the Department of Truth, we are going to spin this yarn that is saying the U.S. defeated you. Okay, that's what's about to happen. Because of that, you're already going to start feeling things about you change. Maybe you're no longer the head of a political power. Maybe you're just some middle manager in some propaganda unit of the KGB, just some librarian going over files that say everybody thinks what they should say. There's nothing there. You're going to feel the idea of the Soviet Union and your big political power movement was just some weird bad dream that's never existed before. It might even be starting to happen to you already, because we're putting it out into the lifeline and people are going to feel it. Now what Hawk is saying is, so that's happening. That's happening now. You're going to change. Everything's going to be like that for you. But what I'm saying is keep some of your more secretive, important files in this room that nobody knows about. Nobody at Fort Knox knows about this. It's a secret organization. This is where we keep all your files. And then when the time comes again, when the movement starts to change again and your ideas come to light, they will still be here and you will remember who you were. I love that so much. This is Hawk's thing. He was Fort Knox is my baby. I'm going to, turn coat very early on, and you can store all the information here because nobody's going to know how to get in here, and it's going to make sense. It's awesome. What a cool concept. A really fun idea to explore. Cut back to the present day. The Mothman is still there, but now it is dead and is stuffed on the ceiling, which is kind of cool. I like to see that. Cole's looking at it like, this is very weird. The further they get into this exploited area of Fort Knox, the more Cole starts to realize, oh, this doesn't feel right. It's like, yeah, well, this is a place made entirely of fiction. We're not supposed to be here. It's not a place we're supposed to stand. So just being inside this presence doesn't feel normal. Kind of scary. They find the room that says archives. Cole has a little bit of sentimental moment, like, this is the room that Hawk has wanted me to find. He keeps telling me to find the archives. The answers are in this room. And when they walk inside, the room has been emptied out. There is nothing left inside. Just a TV on like a roller tray from the old days and a tape that says play me. We see a young man saying hello, Lee. And you just get like, I think it's supposed to be Hawk or Gregory. They didn't really confirm. But I think it's Gregory or I think it's Hawk. It's one of the two. Like a younger version. And this person on the tape gets into like this huge speech of like, you are an old creature from a past time, a relic of this stuff. When we move forward, when Martin Barker and his black hat and everything moves forward and the Ministry of Lies becomes powerful, you are a nothing relic that's not going to mean anything anymore, Lee. You're a dangerous threat to this world that if the people knew about you, you'd crumble everything in existence. Like, you are everything we are working against, Lee. You're not helping us. You're not doing anything to benefit us. You are the problem. We have to deal with you as best we can. That's what we have to get through. You are the problem. And you just see the tapes like, anybody who is like a hatchet man at the department who's watching this tape before, Lee, I hope you know you've chosen the wrong side of history. You are going to go down as the idiots who went to the side of the old war, and you're not going to like the choices you made. But you also see underneath the television is a sticky note marked out to KC, which of course, don't trust the grower. And you see KC, that's King Cole. That is what Hawk always called him. And this is where Cole learns that Maddie has been taken by the Ministry of Lies. They have him. Can't trust him. They have him. A lot in this book. Again, compared to other issues, there's not much to unpack. This is like, Fort Knox is used as a storage unit. And I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. I could track that. Makes sense to me. Aside from the gold and the Mothman, all of the secrets of both departments are kind of stored in here. And now they're gone, and now that the Soviets have them. And I'm like, yeah, okay, that does track. I think that is believable. Like always, the artwork is spectacular. Like, there's some key moments, especially like seeing the Mothman. That's always something I love to see. But just like the silhouetted forms of like, you know, Hawk Harrison representing like the United States, Gregory representing like the Illuminati, and then you see one of the people from the Ministry of Lies is like the Soviet hammer and sickle. It's really cool. Something about this book will always just interest me. I can't explain it, but it's just so beautiful, so creative. It's just such a unique piece, and I love the idea that this story presents. This is not the best issue of the run, but it's a solid attempt to tell something stories, like something cool. I think it's really fun. This book always makes me happy. And this issue, a great one. Kind of impressive. So, cool. The Department of Truth, issue number 21. I am going to give a 7 out of 10. Now, thank you guys for watching this review. Be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. As always, you can check me out on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter. And as always, I will catch you in the next one. Have fun. Stay safe. Don't forget, folks, Fort Knox is built like a fortress. Who knows what they're keeping inside? Good luck.